You're definitely aware of the bridge in Baltimore that collapsed the other day because a massive cargo ship collided into one of the pillars. Seeing the footage of the bridge collapsing like a house of cards is nothing short of horrific to me because it is so surreal seeing a huge structure like that crumble so effortlessly. And it was a bridge that thousands of people drove on every single day. This happened at 1 in the morning. Imagine if this happened a few hours later during rush hour. At the time of recording this video, 6 people are missing. Hate to say it, but they're almost certainly dead. That is a 100 plus foot drop, and also, of course, the water is still cold at this time of the year. Of course, 6 deaths is still 6 deaths too many, but this could have been so much more disastrous than it already is. But anyway, the bridge collapse itself isn't just what I want to discuss in this video. What I also want to talk about is what so many fucking idiots on social media are saying in response to this event. Here is a tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Of course, there should be a serious investigation into the horrifying tragedy of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland. Is this an intentional attack or an accident? Praying for the victims, survivors, and families. The reason this ship collided into the bridge was because the crew operating the ship lost control of it because the ship was experiencing power loss. You can literally see in the fucking video of the ship crashing into the bridge, the ship's lights shorting out. And the reason we didn't see more deaths occur that night is because the ship's crew issued out a mayday warning that they lost control of the ship and that traffic on the bridge needed to be halted immediately. Does that sound like something a terrorist would do? Issue out a warning just as they're about to attack a structure that the structure is going to be destroyed to ensure that civilians won't be on the structure at the time of the attack? No, if anything, they would want as many civilians on the structure as possible because that would send a stronger message. And they most certainly wouldn't attack at 1 in the fucking morning. They would instead attack during rush hour, the hours of the day the bridge experiences the most traffic. It would be like if Al Qaeda attacked the World Trade Center at 1 in the morning. Yeah, sure, it would still be a horrific event. You would still see mass death. But that would still be when most of the offices would be closed and most of the people who worked in the building would be home. And the event probably wouldn't have hit as hard if it was done in the middle of the night. But anyway, conservatives have also been blaming this on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. This has been something the right has been complaining about nonstop recently, and DEI is essentially a framework that seeks for better representation for those who have been previously underrepresented on the basis of their skin color, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, etc., in settings such as the workplace. And the right has been doing shit like sharing around videos and saying, look at this black female pilot just doing her job. Isn't DEI so fucking awful? And God forbid you ask them to clarify their position. So you think people are inherently worse at a job on the basis of their gender or their skin color, etc.? No, I just hate forced diversity. Well, what does that even fucking mean? If you don't have a problem with people of color or women in the workplace, then what is your issue exactly? And then I guess maybe their brain will explode. But anyways, DEI tangent over. If it comes out that this was the result of a maintenance failure, then it wouldn't have mattered what the skin color of the crew was, what the gender identity of the crew was, what the sexual orientation of the crew was. That would be at the fault of the company for either overlooking issues with the ship's power, or just flat out ignoring it so they wouldn't have to delay. That possibility should enrage you far more than what if the ship's crew weren't straight white men. Here's another stupid tweet I came across. So you're telling me a boat hitting a bridge creates that kind of explosion and damage? Mark my words, this is the first of many false flags that will happen this year all throughout the world. I say it again, this is the year of chaos. Stay safe. Yes, a massive cargo ship hitting a bridge would create that kind of damage. There is no infrastructure in the world that would be able to withstand the velocity of a massive cargo ship colliding into it. You don't have to be a fucking physics major to comprehend this. And here's one more tweet I'll read out. The ship's captain who collapsed the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore likely passed out because he was recently vaccinated. He might have fallen on the power switches. Pfizer, Moderna, and the others will be held accountable accountable. I don't have to respond to this, right? It is so fucking obvious why this tweet is so stupid. But unfortunately, so many people in this country are fucking stupid. Here we have footage, clear as fucking day, of a ship whose power was shorting out, colliding into a bridge, and yet people are still like, there must be something more nefarious to this. I've even seen some people say that Obama must be somehow behind this, because apparently a few months ago he produced some movie that has a scene with a boat crash. If we're going by that logic, maybe we should point fingers at James Cameron. He directed one of the most famous movies of all time, Titanic, a movie about a boat crash. Maybe he has something to do with this. I swear to fucking God, people are so dumb. Not everything is a goddamn conspiracy. Everything revolving around this incident thus far points to it being nothing more than a horrific accident. It's good to be skeptical when there is reason to be skeptical, like the circumstances surrounding Epstein's death. But with this, you have to reach so far up your fucking ass to come to any other conclusion aside from this being, again, just a terrible, terrible accident. This is exactly what you get when you have a major political party and pundits playing right into their base's irrational fears and bigotry. It gets to the point where there is no such thing as a freak occurrence anymore to these people. Every major negative event has to somehow be at the fault of DEI, or immigration, or political figures we don't like, or the Illuminati, or any other fucking boogeyman these people have. And these people are not an insignificant portion of this country. Isn't the United States in such a great spot right now? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.